To win a Nobel Prize, affiliate with a highly influential political party. To stand out among the pool of thousands of applications for the Nobel Prize for a specific field and get nominated, you need to have a hand in highly influential political party. If you are in India, you have to get your hands on any political party, which includes BJP or Congress. If you are in the USA, you need to get a hand in the Democratic or Republican Party, whichever party that has more influence at the time. Then you should ask yourself, how can you get a hand in these political parties? It's easy. You have to serve the party you wish to get a hand in. If you are a writer, help them get more reach and explain to the masses why your political party is better than others. And create feelings of uniqueness in the literary committee you are part of. Then they will make up attributes of uniqueness to you and your work. Mo Yang, the first Chinese citizen to win the prize. It was hallucinatory realism, or Doris Lessing, who was described as many as an epicist of the female experience, examined a divided civilization, highlighting struggles women faced under patriarchy. Law. Meanwhile, Bob Dylan, known for the line "Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle, like a ball of soup," was celebrated for creating new poetic expression. This is when I say to these people, why so serious? Now, if you are a scientist, the case is different. You need to be influential within your scientific community, which means you need to be politically active within your specific community. Politically active within the scientific community, meaning you don't really need to conduct groundbreaking research. You just have to make it appear you have groundbreaking research. First of all, groundbreaking research is subjective. If you want your research to be published in a high-end journal, you need research that will be valuable to these journals. And what is valuable according to these journals? That's public and societal appeal. Because these journals are run for profit. If it's a legitimate or non-profit journal, they say it upholds academic and scientific rigor. And research is peer-reviewed. Then we have to look at the efficacy of the peer-reviewed research. We are taking a peek at an excerpt of an article titled "Peer Review, a Flawed Process at the Heart of Science and Journals" by Richard Smith, published in the journal Royal Society of Medicine. It said that peer review is at the heart of the processes of not just medical journal but of all of sciences. It is a method by which grants are allocated, papers published, academics promoted, Nobel Prizes won. Yet it's hard to define. It has until recently been unstudied, and its defects are easier to identify than its attributes. Yet it shows no sign of going away. Famously, it is compared with democracy, a system full of problems, but the least worst we have. Did he say democracy? That does not look good. It gave us Modi, Donald Trump, Putin, Xi Jinping. In this article, he outlines the defects of peer-reviewed research. So we have little evidence on the effectiveness of peer review, but we have considerable evidence on its defects. In addition to being poor at detecting those defects, they are almost useless for detecting fraud. It is slow, expensive, and profligate of academic time, highly subjective, something of a lottery, prone to bias and easily abused. He even said it is highly subjective and is based on faith rather than fact. It goes like this. A systematic review of all available evidence on peer review concluded that the practice of peer review is based on faith in its effects rather than on facts. That does not sound good. But this is the best method we got, like democracy. After you get your research peer reviewed and published in well-established journals, the impact of your research is based on the number of citations it receives from other researchers, how often it is referenced in academic papers, media, and public discussions. Additionally, you need to win the support of influential professors or experts in your field by convincing them of the significance of your research, particularly if you aim for prestigious awards like Nobel Prize. After you achieve a level of recognition within the party or scientific community, use the influence of the party or committee to influence the Nobel Committee and explain to them why your work are more influential than others, along with some perks to convince them that you are the best. This is an excerpt from the article, what's the point of Nobel Prize? Published in the Guardian, it says, Nobel Peace Prize is given to a highly influential political figures or organization. If you look at history, you can see recipients ranging from the International Committee of the Red Cross and the International Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Weapon to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change and the European Union. But there are individuals who got the Nobel Peace Prize for the pursuit of peace, and there are people who got the Nobel Peace Prize because they stopped war. I meant they stopped waging war, like the President of the United States, Barack Obama. Now, when I said influencing the Nobel Committee, I meant lobbying power. That's point number 2, lobbying power. With the power of lobbying, you could get the attention of the Nobel Committee and you won't be alone. There will be a pool of lobbyists who want to get nominated and win the Nobel Prize. How do you lobby, you might ask? Give them what they want. Arrange them ladies. If they want money, arrange them that. Whatever their needs or wants, satisfy that. If they found you to be a delightful candidate, you would be nominated among a pool of individuals who would want to be nominated. So much for meritocracy. You only see people who won the Nobel Prize. If you don't believe me, look at the people who didn't get the Nobel Prize that have impacted humanity. Lisa Minor, who helped split the atom, never received the Nobel Prize despite being nominated 48 times. And now look at the economist who got the Nobel Prize. I don't know why the Nobel Committee gave away the Nobel Prize to economists. Because economists believe that past performance doesn't dictate future expectations. But there are economists who won the Nobel Prize, who created mathematical models to predict the economy, but failed to predict the financial crisis of 2007-2008. I want to be clear here. Greatness is subjective. You can attribute greatness to anyone. It's your subjective feelings. It's fundamentally your belief that Nobel Prize is given to people who have achieved greatness in their field, whether it be any fields that they are given for. A belief, nothing more or less. They are entitled to their belief. Look, we don't know the people who didn't get nominated and their contribution because that has not reached the public's eye, or the individual who wish to know about their contributions because that is not disclosed to you by the committee. What the public has is a survivorship bias. Survivorship bias means you only see those people who have got the prize and their success story, while not seeing the people who have gone through different paths to try to attain the Nobel Prize but didn't get it due to many obstacles or hurdles in their path. But many didn't experience any hurdles in their path to attain the Nobel Prize. And these are a set of people who have had much hurdles and got the prize. Survivorship bias means you only see those people who have got the prize and their success story, while not seeing the people who have gone through different paths to try to attain the Nobel Prize but didn't get it due to many obstacles or hurdles in their path. But many didn't experience any hurdles in their path to attain the prize. And there are a set of people who have had much hurdles and got the Nobel Prize. In the end, you will be in a pool of lobbyists awaiting to find who the committee is awarding the Nobel Prize for. The greatest contribution to mankind in science and economics will be picked from a pool of candidates who were selected as nominees through the effort of lobbying. So much for meritocracy. But there is one big hurdle that is interfering in your path to achieve the Nobel Prize. That's serendipity. Point 3. Serendipity or luck. Serendipity or luck is not only required to get a scientific breakthrough. For example, Robert Wilson, Arno Penzias feared that pigeon dropping were to blame for the annoying interference that plagued their new radio telescope. They later realized its true origin after glow of the Big Bang. Low. They got the Nobel Prize because of a serendipity or luck. There is a diversity problem in getting Nobel Prize. If you were born as a woman century ago or born before 1960s, your chances of getting a Nobel Prize is pretty low. According to the Guardian article, what's the point of Nobel Prize? Nobel Prize often go to individuals late in their careers, reflecting a time when laboratories were even less diverse than today. Therefore, being born a man historically increased a likelihood of recognition, as it were challenging for women, especially those born before 1960s, to enter the workforce and laboratories due to gender inequality. However, civil rights movement, the Equal Pay Act of 1963, the Civil Rights Acts of 1964 and Title 9 of the 1972 Education Amendment significantly advanced gender equality, influencing societal attitudes, policies, and opportunities, thus improving women's success to education and the workforce. Because of this, your likelihood of becoming a woman and getting a Nobel Prize has increased since the 1960s, and this is in the United States. But such movement and civil rights acts varied with countries, and in some it has not reached and it is still in progress. So even today, it's preferable to be a man when it comes to attaining the covetable Nobel Prize. To see the impact of gender equality, we have to wait a couple of decades to see whether statistics will be almost equally distributed among men and women. Look, this is based on individual contribution and lobbying power. So who knows what will be the distribution of women and men who won the Nobel Prize in the coming decades. You could even get a Nobel Prize based on misjudgment, with awards given for contributions later proven incorrect or based on limited evidence. One of the clearest examples is Johannes Fibiger, who won the 1962 Nobel Prize in Medicine for his discovery of the Spiroptera carcinoma. He claimed a parasitic worm caused stomach cancer in rodents, but it was later found that animals had skin problems due to vitamin A deficiency, initially hailed as the greatest contribution to experimental medicine. This discovery was later deemed one of the biggest blunders made by the Karolinska Institute. Another heavily criticized choice was the 1949 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine, awarded by Antonio Egas Moniz for developing the prefrontal lobotomy, a procedure later discredited and banned, but only after tens of thousands of patients were subjected to it. Some prizes seem unusual in hindsight. Niels Gustav Dahlen won the 1912 Nobel Prize in Physics for inventing a lighthouse valve that automatically turned off the beacon at sunrise, a helpful innovation for lighthouse keepers. However, this choice seems unconventional, especially considering that Einstein had recently introduced the theory of relativity. This is why I say giving awards is subjective. Because is Einstein's theory of relativity or turning of the beacon of lighthouse at sunrise more profound scientific breakthrough? Who knows? It depends on the individual you are asking. In the end, you need to be fit to get the Nobel Prize, not smart or intelligent or based on your contributions or the number of contribution to science, but rather be fit for you to be able to get awarded by the Nobel Committee through the process of lobbying to get nominated and the Nobel Committee's subjectivity of who is better fit among the nominees to get awarded. Then only you will get the Nobel Prize. If I hurt your feelings, I'm sorry. Sometimes truth hurts. I don't care. So, if you like this video, if you love this video, if you have issues with this video, comment down below. And if you love this video, subscribe and hit the like button. You could even share to your Nobel friends or other friends, any friends, all other friends. Just share it.